I just saw something interesting as we were loading into the trial. I don't know if the scene changed in time, but maybe
I
we'll
didn't
see it.
I didn't see it.
Maybe we'll see it in a second. And as this is mirrored on both sides, we'll have to see if that surprise reveals itself anytime soon. But I'm not gonna spoil it yet. But we do see a dub starting off on the plague. And we are puking on that Galushan there, and puking on the Shenrider by the shack as well. Just kind of trying to hold this area. Like you said, a lot of survivors will be trying to avoid the corrupt, trying to stealth out that early game. However, Ethel does get found. Ethel gets found very fast, and will be taking chase now by the shack. Lots of good resources in this area, but I don't think we want to die here because this is a bit of a tough gen spread, and they've done a very good job of dodging out a lot of those
Oh
pukes
my
there,
god!
Egder. Oh my goodness, kind of in the matrix here.
Oh, okay. Man unfortunately does get shot in the knee with puke. You know, it's a long day at the office. But point is, this is looking. This is a pretty. I mean, I'd say early infections. But you can't really base the game just off, well, does an early infection happen, right? We actually just take a full M1 onto Baz there, so we're not too worried about getting the infect up. And also, Dead Dog is a much smaller map than Suffolk Pit, which is what we're generally used to seeing the plague on, so it makes sense that survivors are going to get infected earlier. Now it
Mm.
is just a classic case of, keep up the infections. Generally, you just want to get them onto everyone as soon as possible. The sheer threat of having every spine broken is huge, and we get a nice stun at the water tower. So Kobje is able to make distance, but actually just chooses to stick by the tower. Dub could puke on the pallet and then force Kobje to make an interesting decision. And yeah, it's eventually going to do that residually, but then actually just break it. Interesting play coming out from Dubs so far. Hasn't really been able to get anything to stick. Despite, 2 infections, Kobje really wasted a lot of time with that water tower. Must have been at least like 45 seconds to a minute.
Yeah. I mean, well, yeah, there's the first gen popping already. We don't see a down come through quite yet.
Very early for a
Uh,
plague set. We generally don't see the first
yeah,
gens
yeah.
go quite so quick.
No, for sure. Plague almost a slow singularity sometimes. Dub taking a very early Bower. I mean, I've seen Dub play Plague before, like I've said, and this is a common thing for them. I think they take power early a lot, which is a very acceptable playstyle, of course. There are multiple ways to play the Plague set, and this is one of them, a little bit faster paced, and I kind of respect it as a caster, from a caster point of view, of course. A little bit nicer sometimes to have a faster game, and we do see the first down result because of that. Torselman going down to the corrupt puke there at the edge of the gallows area, and gonna be taking a pain res hook. There is a pain res nearby, but actually might want to be hooking deeper in our gen spread. There is a bit of a 3 gen in the gallows area, and Dub knows that. Also knows that if we hook deeper, it's going to be harder for our survivors to get out of this area. So a very good hook placement by our killer here. And we still have a bit of time left on our corrupt puke, but not too much because we do not have Devotee's Amulet, which adds 20 extra seconds, but this will just be the standard 60. Oh!
Oh, all right. Okay, bro. Okay, Kobje, I see you. I see you. I mean, now you're kind of forced to just rush for the unhook. So Kobje's dead now and infected, which is tough.
Mhm.
But Dub, actually no, goes for the fresh onto Kobje. This makes sense. You have a corrupt pool nearby. Your down on Torso Man was really really good. To be honest, like it looked like Dub was having a really tough early game, but bringing along these double apple add-ons to get all those corrupt pools seems to pay off. You know, if you can get even one down with your corrupt purge in the early game, that's really really good value, right? Another gen is going to go by. Okay, hang on a minute. Another 2 gens going to go by. I'd be excited for the survivors, but I also know that they are, for a fact, going to have to contend with the Gallows 3 gen against a Plague with a hook directly in the middle of the 3 gen. So basically, sorry guys, it's going to be a long day. Oh, and a corrupt pool in the 3 gen as well, because yeah, we need it a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Dub does not care about those topside gens popping in the slightest. The gen is my main building, that is. Um, and this might be a second stage on the Cobj. I mean, if they get unhooked, They will most likely last a while, but taking Corrupt Puke right before he hits second stage, I think that's gonna be a... Oh no. Oh no.
Oh my god.
Okay, well, that might be a bit worse for survivors then.
And now you know
Um,
where the last two survivors are. You have
yeah, this
Aura on
this
the
might be a
front left
4K
of it.
too, Egder.
Wait,
Oh
wait,
my
wait, wait,
goodness.
wait, wait, wait.
This
Wait,
is
wait,
not
wait,
how it
wait,
plays
wait.
up. And now, like, this is so scary. Like, Baz right now surely has to be sprinting towards that hook. It's like, no, you don't get it. I need to do this, guys. And actually, clever play from Torsaman. Hops the locker to force a grab. This buys Baz enough time to go over to the top side, get the unhook and the pickup. I
Mhm.
was gonna say, like, you need to get it, like, now, basically, but they're going to get it. These survivors are going to be scattering, like the cockroaches underneath the rocks in my garden the moment you pick it up, but Dub can definitely get one of them on the way out. And it's gonna be Baz. We're gonna be forcing, again, another tactically forced grab onto, basically not Cobj, which is the best thing, to be honest. Survivors have a
Yeah,
lot. They got out of this situation well. I am interested to see how they recover because this is a pretty big wound to be taken.
I agree, Egder. That those two locker forces saved the game, in my opinion. I think Dub would have most definitely gotten quite a bit of slugging and quite a bit of pressure from that if they had. Maybe not a 4K because that crap peak was about to run out, but who knows? It was definitely enough time if you landed the shots perfectly. So yeah, Torselman kind of the MVP there. Nia also doing a very good job with the second locker force, but we do see that 3 gen, the 4 gen still kind of standing. I would probably call it a 4 gen. There is a gen by Water Tower that's a little bit safer than the other three. However, Nia taking chase now is going to be in the gallows area, going down under a pallet, and there's a swing through a pallet. Very good job by Dub. Um, oh, Oh, very good job by Cobja actually as well. We'll be getting a pallet save and both survivors in the clear for now. Somehow, Hector, we managed to get out of that with only 4 stages, but that was
I was
a
gonna
little bit
say, like,
risky.
the fact that Dub has not won this series already is robbery of the century from Pain. They have played exceptionally to get out of a situation like that. And they're gonna be completing another generator. I having a quick look. Yeah, no, they still have the Gallows 3 gen. They're still screwed, but at least they were able to get 4 done. You know, it's silver linings, I suppose, at a time like this. Finally, going to get the, oddly enough, first Pain Resonance of the game from Dub, and yeah, okay. So now we have every survivor injured. A couple of the key resources around this 3 gen have been used. How do you get any of these gens done? To be honest, at least you're doing it in a 4v1 instead of a 3v1, so it's like technically possible, quote unquote. But like also you're screwed.
Yeah, we have Balance Landing and we have Lithe as our exhaustion perks. That is if the survivors chose to bring it in. We have not swapped to the survivor POV yet. I did see some exhaustion perks as we loaded into the trial on the offering screen. And they don't have too many perks to begin with. Yeah, there are very few perks. That was a little twist I noticed at the beginning. But using the exhaustion, we do have
Wait a
Lithe
minute,
and
hang on.
BL, of course.
What's happening?
I mean, it's mirrored. They just want a little fun to maybe end off the potential last set, right?
I like how Ethel
uh,
was just greedy and had 2 perks instead of 1. They had to make
yeah,
a cake at the dinner table. It was very sad, truly. I don't know why
yeah,
that
for
made me
sure.
giggle so much. It's just funny. But yeah, point is they still have exhaustions on their side, which I guess is all you need at the end of the day, right? For Dub, I'd rather
Oh,
you don't get baited too much around the main building, but actually in the last few seconds of your Corrupt Purge, you're able to get the down onto Baz. And you get a Pain Res, and you turn this into a 3v1. That's like a worst case down for these survivors. They were already in a bad spot in the 4v1 to break this 3 gen. They're in an even worse spot now.
yeah. And all 3 painters remaining on the last standing survivors, so we have some bit some good gen regression available to us. Eruption as well. Thanatophobia, of course, not at its full power anymore because Kobje was healthy and Baz is now eliminated. So we are taking chase now with our ace. He is looping around this filler palette here. Probably will be dropping it soon, but he is still healthy, so he has a little bit of time to loop without in too much danger. We'll have to see it coming down, maybe. He's doing a very good job of greeting this pallet, despite being nearly infected. He's actually not infected yet. I can't imagine that's anywhere far from 99. Yeah, there's the full infection coming through now. But Dub doing a good job of zoning Kabje back into the gallows area. He's deep in the gallows now. The other two survivors have to be either stacking out a generator or something because Kabje is dead on hook and downing him, hooking him would be a 2v1, very difficult to break that. But that is our balanced landing survivor using their BL to get to the top side of the map behind the main building. And these survivors pressuring out the gallows gen, but that gallows gen is not 99. It's not in too much danger of popping. All three survivors injured have to break this really tough gen spread, but Dub is not going to let it slide.
I think at the highest level, it's say in theory you had like the best kills in the world and the best survivors in the world. No matter the build, no matter what's being run, a 4v1 can always break a 3-gen. Even the toughest one, of course, assuming that they play perfectly. But even assuming the killer plays perfectly, I think that a 4v1, you can break even the toughest of 3-gens. In a 3v1, I don't think you can. I think it skews more at that point. If the killer plays perfectly, you just can't break the 3-gen. It's that simple. So not only are we trying to do that, but also we're trying to do that when we have every survivor broken permanently. We have Dub with power, and also we're on the Dead Dog Saloon, bro. Like, this is really cooked. And I think, honestly, the survivors right now are making the best play, which is to just stay the hell away from Dub, right? Take as much distance as you possibly can. Wait out this corrupt purge, because when this one is gone, there'll be none left, and then suddenly Dub becomes a lot less threatening.
Yeah, that was our last corrupt pool, by the way. So, I mean, a lot of the pressure that Dub has had so far has been because of that corrupt pools, and this is going to be a down on Torselman edge map. Oh my goodness, what a snipe!
Again,
Very, very good shot. Yeah, the last second of the pool. So that's 60 seconds of the corrupt puke coming through very strong, using every bit of it to their advantage. We do get a hook next to the gallows gen. I think Torselman wanted to get as far away from the 3-gen as possible, but didn't quite make it out. And Ace, now in the corner, we see Torselman get unhooked immediately because we know that Ace is trapped back here and needs to get both survivors off of the hook, standing as long as possible, but he might be going down here. No, he gets the pallets done. Very, very good pallets done by our ace, and maybe making it out a little bit, but he is dead on hook. He did, I think, drop this pallet earlier in the match. He will be going down edge map, but the question is, are the other two survivors doubling out a gen for that?
Probably, right? I mean, you salvage what you can. I guess you try and double up the gallows generator right now, but you're also going to have a pain rest to contend with, and a thanatophobia as well, but actually maybe less so now with the kills. But point is, you're having a very rough time for the survivors. You have nothing aside from holding left click on this generator and praying to all that is holy. Because if you weren't breaking the 3-gen in the 3v1, you sure as hell ain't doing it in the 2v1. Quick maths. I know, I'm a genius.
I want to quickly just mention that very good point in the chat from Mean. They didn't bring Deja. They chose not to bring Deja, and I wonder.
Is Deja allowed against? I guess.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Yes,
okay.
it is. I mean, a lot of
Right.
teams will choose Visionary now. Visionary kind of becoming a little bit more of a meta as well, especially on the maps that have kind of tougher 3-gens, 4-gens sometimes. But yeah, neither Visionary nor Deja Vu, no indication of where those generators are at the beginning of the game, without any close visuals, of course. Maybe that kind of resulted in a 3-gen standing until the very end of the match. Who knows? But this is still going to be a little bit rough. We do have a 2v1 now. Govj is dead, Baz is dead. The last two survivors fighting for the last generator to pop, and this is one of the last pallets in the gallows area, by the way. They've dropped quite a few of them. I think Shack actually is still remaining. Shack usually one of the first pallets to go in these sets, but I mean they've managed to keep it up for this long, and it doesn't matter quite as much in the 2v1, but we'll have to see if it matters this time.
Yeah, this is unbelievably cooked right now. There's nothing. There's nothing that the survivors can do about this. It's a tough day. In fact, again, Torsman's getting off easy right now because Dub is so protective of the Gallows gen. It's like it's his baby and just needs to like protect it at all times. Again, interesting lunge. Not a great pallet either. So this is made where it would not be otherwise. But I feel like this is just a slow demise of the survivors. Like, do you have an option aside from maybe cleanse in the corner of the map and then pray to all that is dear to you?
Maybe. It's kind of hard when the Dwight goes
prayers
down
didn't
now,
work.
though. Yeah, that is gonna be an eruption on the Gallows generator. We know our balance landing survivor is the Dwight, so the Claudette will not be having that that exhaustion prick to help them get to the main building. She still does make it to the main building regardless. Is gonna be taking the last chase on this front main window. But yeah, 4K1 kind of. I mean, it's not the worst result for Plague. It's definitely with those tougher 3 gens, it's a common thing. But I think outs on Plague is also not unexpected either. Ethel will be continuing chase on this on this new tile. This is one of the new tiles that we see on the Dead Dog Saloon with the new palette update. She's playing this very well so far, but unfortunately for Ethel, this is where it matters the least, right? is at the end of the game when everyone else is dead. But yeah, very very good job by Dub. This is excellent Plague gameplay. We can see why they picked this set.
Yeah, it definitely makes a lot of sense, and it very much feels like we're going to be extending our series a bit to that guy in chat who was really wanting to see Lich being played, and in fairness, you as well, Julia. It seems increasingly more likely, despite the fact that Ethel right now is juicing harder than even Minute Maid could ever dream of. Point is, should be going down eventually. And like there is nothing that can be done. So for now, we just enjoy this lovely little 1v1 and this obscene amount of respect that Dub is showing the palette.
Yeah, this is an excellent 1v1. We can see why they chose Ethel for the 2v1 earlier, but they will be going down eventually, and we are going to be taking Dwight from that pile of survivors just so we can get the Mori on Ethel probably. And yeah, very very well played. Like I said, we are going to be seeing an AHL trailer coming up. We're going to be taking a tiny break after this match as we go into the next Plague set with.
Hello everyone, welcome back to what could potentially be the final trial of today's Community Cup, but Cobj is going to have to pull out a hell of a performance because, I mean, yeah, Dub for Sirenia sure as hell did earlier. It has been drawn to my attention that this Kate skin is apparently meant to be emulating our Commissioner Direwolf, but we've been specifically informed it is wrong because the charms are not there, and Dub is therefore I believe the term is a loser or something along those lines. Someone else's words, not mine. Early infection and an early hit that comes out from Cobj onto Ataku. And the point was raised, and it's something which I did think about in the break. Yes, the 4K1 was a very good result for Dub, but also remember, these survivors basically don't have perks to play with. 4K1, when you only have exhaustions, you know, there's nothing like a deja vu, there's basically nothing else that you can really use. It's not bad, to be honest, and what intrigues me is that Cobj isn't actually going for an infection and control playstyle. Obviously, it's spreading some infections, but more just going for injuries. It's really just letting these gens fly, at least in the early game.
We saw several people in the main building. I think Cobj a little bit comfortable committing to them for an infection just because we know that there cannot be too many people spread out around the map. And Jake, without balance landing, will be dropping off of the gallows. And actually, is this a down? This is actually a down, a very fast down onto Jake at this pallet at the left side of the main building. The exact same gallows 3-gen that we saw earlier, by the way. We are going to be hooking on it. Do we make this deep hook? I'm a little bit worried he doesn't make that, but we'll have to see. Cobj probably knows better than I do. Very ambitious drag into the gallows area, and he
Close. No!
doesn't make it.
Oh
No,
no!
he does not make that. That might cost him a lot because Jake is sprinting out of the 3-gen area, and Corrupt is over as well.
Oh, and you make Shaft Pallet as well. Nah, dude, you can't. That was genuinely that was like your best shot of getting early game pressure, and like you kind of threw it away for lack of a better term. You do end up infecting Dub, a bit of a double-edged sword there as you get stunned up as well. But oh my lord, Cobj fumble of the century there. Goodness gracious. We're gonna see this gen in the street. Close to being completed. Of course, again, that's not really the gen split that we are looking at. I think, honestly, for CobJ, your best shot here, considering what you have to work with, is the 4K2 is really hard to get on any playing set. You might just have to play for the Tycon and then see if you can win out the 1v1 again.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, we'll have to see, but yeah, that first down not making it to the hook is definitely going to cost him a little bit, but we might be getting a second down now. That's eruption on multiple generators. This hook, or this down also came very far away from that gallows gen, but we do make it definitely to this painters by the water tower area. I wonder if we make it in time for the gen to pop though. That gen, yeah, it is going to be popping behind our killer, but it probably will hit another gen in the gallows area. I know that the gallows gen itself had quite a bit of progress.
Yeah, I was
in
gonna
PUBG.
say, hear me out. I actually prefer that first gen pop. That means that the regression from the pain res, as you say, more likely comes out on the 3-gen, which is what you're controlling very early on. Now everyone's injured. It's a really good time to pop the corrupt purge, especially because the unhooks just come out. I mean, the 4K1, which we saw last time, was basically Dub getting like a really nasty snowball off, to be honest. And there's a lot of potential for CobJ to get something similar here, right? Like, you get an early down, you still have a lot of time to work with. You still have every survivor injured. It's not completely infeasible for you to continue to snowball with this corrupt purge, especially because there are some faint scratch marks near here. Someone was in the area. Someone definitely cooked around here. And you have spotted out a survivor. This looking about 20-15 seconds left that you've got to land this corrupt purge in the corner. And you... What?!
That was a crazy shot by Komche, and we are going to be hooking in the gallows area. However, I think one of the gallows gens. Oh no, they're all still up. I was gonna say
CobJ, do
one
not
popped.
go for the pain res.
Yeah, he's learned his lesson. He's not gonna be hooking deeper gallows this time. But still, getting a second stage onto Moon. We already did get a painters on Moon earlier, so it doesn't really matter too much that that's not painters. However, it's a little bit further out of the gallows area. A lot safer to unhook than that deeper gallows hook. This gen, still with a bit of progress. We saw another gen popping, probably by the main building. I think it was maybe in the houses, actually. And yeah, there were 5 gens at the bottom. There was that bottom mid gen, and that generator at the water tower. And oh my god, that was a crazy hit through the pallet. What the heck?
Yeah, I thought we were EU to EU. Apparently, definitely so, but also I am a doubter now. That's kind of really bad for the survivors, actually. We're going to now have the elusive deep pain res hook, the one which CobJ is just in love with, as we well know. Plus, we still have a lot of corrupt purges. On the survivor side, your advantage is that because you got early pressure onto the 3-gen split, the regression events are going to start kicking in a lot sooner. So CobJ can't necessarily rely on the eruption to be dragging him through deep waters, right? But you can, of course, rely on Thanatophobia while these survivors are still alive and they refuse to cleanse, which is generally the correct play against the plague, to avoid cleansing unless absolutely necessary. Now CobJ in the corner. I thought maybe could have gone for that corrupt pull there, maybe catch out 2 survivors, but not going to be doing it. Instead, wants to get a quick chase onto Fell, who immediately vaults back into the killer. So CobJ's happy about that one, I would hazard a guess.
Yeah, we're gonna be going right back on the same hook. No pain res for him, but This is a very good hook location, so I'm not surprised he took it. That gallows gen's still standing, by the way. Also, the water tower gen's still up. The only gen that popped was the one next to the main building. We don't see the gen pop in the distance because of a strange update. I think that's a bit of a bug. But we do take the corrupt purge. We are going to be kind of hunting this area. All survivors injured, full thanatophobia. Corrupt puke is very dangerous when all survivors are in the non-healthy state, and we do see one survivor in this house area. This is a down. Oh no, they actually duck under it. Very well played by Arcade. Maybe the semi-direwolf Kate fit, giving them superpowers there, but heading back into
the Temu direwolf, from Shin.
Yeah, as he calls it, Temu direwolf fit. And Fell might be in a bit of trouble here. Fell is death hook, injured, and we do have the corrupt puke here.
Yep, that we do, and we're actually just going to go for a full spray round. So 3v1 are going to be entered carefully, very carefully entered. Observing all around. Actually going to get rid of this deep pain res. I hope that doesn't come back to bite Kopje. You're in a spot now where, like, you can't really win, but a draw is very doable. You'd have to hold on to the water tower as well as the gallows 3 gen. The water tower is quite a lot safer. Dub is obviously relatively fine. Dropping a firecracker does mean that you are in some amount of desperation. Do you have a nearby pain res possibly? I think that's the way that Kopje can maybe hold on to all of these generators simultaneously, but it's really tough. That being said, I actually really, I guess, overestimated the amount of progress that would be on this water tower gen. It's really not that much in the grand scheme of things. So there is a world in which Kopje wins this series here. But if I was a gambling man, which I am, I would say we're probably going to go to that tiebreaker 2v1.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, Kabje knows the best way he can possibly win this set is by taking Corrupt Puke, which he did, and he's trying to get a crazy shot onto the survivor here, which is Jake. Ataku dodging out those orbitals, I guess you could call them, aerials, snipes, I don't know, and is going to be safely dropping this pallet. We are out of the Corrupt Puke now, but the M1 down will be coming through. This is the last pain res stack. I think we're not going to be choosing to take it though. Kabje knows both survivors are by the water tower area, wants to get the 4K2, wants to get the win for his team. The clean 4-0 could be coming through soon.
Not so clean, like you said, is rather unhygienic, but I see what you mean.
Yeah, I suppose so. I mean, clean in the sense of well played, I suppose. But we are going to be going down, following this blood here, kicking the gen, applying eruption. Ataku does get picked up, so we know no survivors are in the gallows area. And we are kind of looking around here regardless. I think there was one survivor going towards the main building, maybe just wanting to apply eruption instead onto the gallows gen, just get all those generators back down to 0. But with all 3 standing survivors injured, they're 1 corrupt puke away from all going down.
There's one. Is there a single corrupt puke remaining? No, there isn't. Okay. I thought there was one deep gallows, but no, there's nothing there. So everyone is injured, but again, Kopje is really going to struggle to control. It's fine to control a corner of the map, but to try and control an entire side of it, like, you can hear the amount of progress the water tower has on it, and it's just Ataku here. So in the meantime, Dub and Moon can easily be 2-manning anything by the gallows, and Ataku has the entirety of this kind of houses section to play with. Kopje, again, wants to play around this win con, going to be forced to leave. The survivors will scatter. You're gonna try and cut off, I believe that's Moon with the balanced landing. If you want the 4K2, then you need to get this kill onto Moon, and you have to get it quickly. That is a good start. Now we get this hook. Don't think it's going to be a pain res, but we get this hook, we secure this kill, then you're going to have to pull off maybe a bit of a miracle to stop the water tower gen from going.
Yeah, we are going to be entering the 2v1. This is where Kabje could potentially win this set or tie it. Yeah, 2v1 with a 4-gen like this one, and we know our balanced landing survivor is dead. The safest exhaustion perk to work the gallows gen no longer with us. So Kabje kind of, I mean, we know what that both of these gens are kind of low on progress, right, Hector? I mean, I think I heard the Galosh and it wasn't as high as I thought it would be, considering they were doubling. We did get the eruption, so that helped a little bit in the pain res from earlier. The pain reses from earlier. Still have a pain res on our Jake, by the way. We never took the hook on him. We slugged him earlier. This could be a
Uh-oh.
win. It's looking much more possible, especially with both survivors in our sights. Cutting Jake off, I think, from
Oh,
getting to
actually makes
the
the call.
houses.
Yeah, makes the call that someone else would have been there. Now Jake is down. This is good for you. This is really good for you. Dub needs to be stealthing up like crazy right now, but you're not going to be able to do it. You're going to be able to get the down, and somehow, barring, Jesus himself appearing in the lobby out of nowhere, this is going to be a 4-0 win for Pain. My God, what a performance to get the 4K2 here from Kobje. What a performance. My God, Pain absolutely deserve a win after a match like this, especially after a set like this. Goodness me.
Yeah, Team Pain pulling through, especially on the killer run. Kobje has been playing so excellently in all 4 of these sets. Survivor side too, of course, very clean, but yeah, just taking the Mori here to end off the game. Never even got the pain res on our Jake. That, yeah, like you said, a 4-0 by Pain. I actually didn't expect that given the 4K1. Getting a 4K2 on the Plague is kind of a difficult ask, but